stage of your career are you at?
No.
Hey guys, I'm here with Pete Martin, one of our premier artists in the collective. We're here in his studio where the magic happens, and we'd like to ask him a few questions and get to know him a bit.
I can't tell you about the magic because it wouldn't be magic. So.
Can't reveal your secrets and tricks. Righto,
Far away.
Pete, so question one, how would you describe yourself as an artist, broadly speaking?
Wow. Still learning as an artist.
Yep.
I don't think you ever stop learning. The creative process, I've been doing this since probably full time, since about 2006.
Yep.
So a good few years, but I've been creating artwork since I was 3.
Yeah.
There was never ever any confusion about what I was going to be when I grew up.
Oh, awesome. So you've
And
never
when-
let that inner child die and you really
No.
explored that,
When I grow up, I'll let you know.
that inclination. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, mate.
You know,
At what stage of your career are you at?
I would be called no longer emerging.
Yep.
I've got a clientele that works. The works are collectible.
Yep.
I have people that follow me that want to know what the next work is.
Yep.
I have commissions, and that's been really good, having lots of commissions going on all the while.
Yeah, and you've run your own studio, like out
Yeah.
in the general public. So
Well, that's right. I've run 2
very
galleries. I've
established.
lectured in even lectured in Photoshop for a while.
Yeah.
The Brisbane Institute of Art, that was good to me.
Yep.
But what I learned through that process was that I'm still learning.
Yeah,
You know, that just keeps
definitely
going.
a man of evolution. Don't want to remain stagnant.
Yep. And what I could say to any other artist is, I don't think you ever get there,
Yeah,
but you accrue skills, and they're weightless. You know,
Yeah.
with this toolbox of skills that you use to tell whatever it is you want to tell in that moment.
yeah. You keep aspiring to something that keeps running away from you, sort of thing.
Yep.
An end mark. Okay, so what are your favourite muses and subject matter? Obviously, seems to be very nature themed, but in your own words.
Well, as a young bloke, I was across the road from the Ballarat. I grew up in Ballarat. Across the road from the Ballarat Gallery, and they've got big Tom Roberts paintings in there, and these Australian ones from like Arthur Streetons, all of those kind of things. So I lived in the bush, and eventually moved into Ballarat proper. But I had that great experience of growing up in the bush,
Yeah.
and it is so rewarding, and it still is. So if I was just to draw what Pete wanted to draw, I'd be just drawing art. Drawing the bush and what
Yeah.
it feels like to be there, because it's so different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what our brand's all about. So you encompass on an independent level everything we want to achieve here.
Well, yeah, my work sits pretty well in amongst the others.
Yeah. So, yeah, on an emotional level and experiential level, what would you like people to feel and experience when really immersing themselves in viewing your art?
Okay, that's a really good question. I want people to feel
Yeah.
what it is. I
You
don't
want
want
to
them
move people.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we're storytellers as artists. We're telling things to the future. In fact, sometimes if you're doing a portrait, you're telling truth to the present.
Yeah.
Telling truth to the future that the present's unwilling to accept. And for anyone who does portrait art, they kind of know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you do a portrait of somebody and they go, but I don't really look like that. And
Yeah.
because they haven't yet accepted that they look like that.
Yeah.
Whereas an artist will come along and they'll work with the reality. But I want people to feel like this one here. I've just finished this one. I don't know if you can see here. But, I mean, you see obvious things in here. But there are like layers and layers and layers of transparent reds and oranges here
Yeah.
that are supposed to make you feel what it is to be there. And sometimes it's, like it's the coolness of the trees. Other times it's the heat. And,
Yeah.
you notice that the creek's dry. And as well as all the other activity that's going on. But, I'd really like to construct an image that's going to drive people into their own experience. Like, this is what I saw or what I felt.
Yep.
So I want people to feel. So 2 dimensions, height by width, and that's what I have to do emotion. We think it's a pictorial language, it's actually an emotional language.
Yeah, it's an image that evokes an emotion, whether you like it or not, and it's each individual is going to feel something slightly different.
Yep.
But generally, you're producing something that you want to have a fairly consistent reaction to, don't you?
Well, that's right. Yeah. Well, you get a consistent reaction, but one of the things I learned, particularly when I was trying to teach people, and I was lecturing in watercolour, was what's the colour of a shadow?
Yeah.
And nobody knew. They all
Yeah.
thought the colour of a shadow was grey.
Yeah.
You know, and so we explored that, and we. It
Well, I don't know. Actually, this is a bit of a learning curve right here.
Well, it's really simple. I'll
Yeah.
put it on video right now.
Yep.
The colour of a shadow is the anti-colour of the light.
Yeah, very nice.
So if you've got yellow coloured light, then you're going to have red and blue on the other side of the colour wheel. A combination, somewhere in that combination will be the
Yeah.
colour of your shadows. Here
It's
you
really
can-
interesting.
It means that you can read. See,
Yeah.
people say, I just move colours around. That's one way of doing it.
Mm.
But another way, if you're going to actually give people a truth to the future and a truth of the past, is here you'll actually notice these are fairly blue, these shadows.
Yep.
So we're already using, if the shadows are blue, then we're using yellow and red for our light source.
Yeah.
So it's a hot day, so it's closing of the day where you've got particulate matter
Yep.
in the air. So use keys like that, like where is the light, how does it sit, how long are the shadows. There's a lot of keys that people put into their paintings, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years, and we don't realise that sometimes.
Yeah.
So for me, the rules are the rules, and you stick by them, but you use them to great effect.
Yeah.
You know, so when you look at this, you go, oh, look at those cows, and look at the guys in the truck, and where I place all of those
Yep.
actually goes back hundreds of years, back to the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah. Well, there's so much depth to what you've created here. It's much more than a scene. It's it's just a story in itself, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's wonderful.
and overseas, might be the first time somebody sees.
Yeah,
something
and
like
this particular painting is basically depicting drovers at rest. It's such a long and draining job, and this is really, depicting their rare moments of break.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
A typical outback job is something that's it relies on endurance and being out in the hot sun, and
It's a hard life. There's no air
this
conditioning.
is this is like painting. It's a time to take a breath, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get in your own thoughts and rest.
With something like this is something that probably, is by the time our grandkids are around, probably won't be happening much. There won't
Yeah.
be people out there
No.
so much.
So if this stands the test of time, which it will, then it's a piece of history, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Documenting something that will be bygone.
Yeah, and you're
In
kind of
future
alluding to, what's the value of an artwork?
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
is how much it speaks to you. You walk
Definitely.
across a room to an artwork
Yeah.
because your heart drags you there.
Yeah,
And if it does, you really should respond. You should
Yeah.
find whatever way, pay it off, do whatever you have to do to own that artwork. Because somewhere in your existence, you're going to regret not
Yeah.
having that.
definitely.
You know, we nest, we put things around us in our homes
Yeah,
because they make us feel.
yeah.
And that's how we should buy our artwork as well.
It's a good way to conclude that question. I like that. So what and who inspires you as an artist?
Oh, Tim Storia.
Yeah.
I love his sense of space and his sense of just experience, like you look at Tim Storia work and you're just there, you're in it.
Yeah,
Very inviting. I do like the old Streetons, Tom Roberts. Love Salvador Dali. Love him for his madness, but I love him for his take on it.
madness is akin to creativity,
Well, it is, yeah, it's...
if channeled properly.
Well, when you think about it, if you said to somebody, what's the definition of madness, doing the same thing and expecting a different
Yeah.
result, artists do what they do sometimes when there is no apparent result,
Yeah,
but they know that they need to do it.
yeah. It's an outlet for that thought,
Yeah,
divergent thinking, isn't it?
yep. And a good way to actually judge where an artist is in their career is to look at their artwork and work out what it is that they're saying. Are they just showing off a particular technique, or are they really narrating a story?
Yeah.
And if you can pick up that they're narrating a story very effectively, there's the artist that you
Yeah.
want to collect. 'Cause
Yeah, a
they're
bit
gonna
of
be around.
both. Like they've got, like yourself, excellent technique, but there's a real story behind what you're doing, and you're really trying to trying to depict that in your artworks, not just show off your awesome technical skills that
Yeah.
you picked up along the way.
Yeah, well, because I've got technical skills that are beyond this, but sometimes in the telling of the story, you have to work
It's
with
probably
others.
more important to you than just showing off your technique, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, right, that probably sums it up. It's
Cool.
Plenty of gas bagging for a
thanks for
little
listening, everybody. If you got through this, thumbs up.
bit. Thank you.